Medieval Minecraft is back. We got MMC3 here, a separate mod pack from before, but this one seems a little more suited to my adventuring tastes. We're gonna explore the world, defeat bosses, and conquer all sorts of dungeons and dimensions in this series. So please sit back and enjoy, and subscribe for more, as well as hit the little thumbs up in the bottom. Starting off as a human, yeah, boring, I know. I woke up in my little hometown of Rezeres, where I took a moment to look at my surroundings before heading over to activate the town Waystone. Before we could really start this adventure, it would be a good idea to search around the village and collect whatever I could find to aid me in my journeys. The first chest that we checked had some silver armor and some healing potions, which would be super duper helpful in the coming adventures. I checked through most of the houses, collecting a good amount of starter equipment like tools and armor and emeralds, before moving on to get some food. And this village had these little sushi stalls, which I was able to borrow a whole bunch of food from. Now stocked up and moderately geared, it was time to set off from the town of Rezares in search of glory and adventure. And so, after traveling over a river and through the woods, but not quite going to grandmother's house, I encountered a forest dryad who pointed me in the right direction. Good day, madame.
Sup, dude? You should go that way.
Where? Over there? Over there?
Yeah, that way.
All right, thank you very much.
What a dumbass.
Our path led us to a snow-covered field where some spooky but non-hostile, heart-showing, pitch-black guy-having mofos had set up a little camp, but they didn't really seem to be helpful, and I wasn't trying to make them into enemies if they didn't want to fight. While traveling through the night, a special enemy spawned in my path, and at this point nothing had been very tough, so I decided to try fighting him. Oh geez. Run! Hey, that was convenient. Alright, so we got some logs here. So boom boom, right. Boom, so there's a bed. And we don't have iron. But we can sleep through the night here, which is something. Hey, there's a chimney? Let's go check out whatever that is. Ooh, there's some iron here. Ooh, hello. We had a number of structures in front of us, and I figured this would be a great place to start our adventure in earnest. So I headed for what I figured would be the easier of the structures, and poked my head inside. Ooh, hello. Got one of these portals to the Everbright, whatever it is. Let's make a shield to defend ourselves against whatever's in that ice fort. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this as like a temporary home base for a minute here, just so that we can loot stuff from inside this place. And I'm pretty sure this is like an icy pillager outpost. Oh, geez. My old enemy, Illagers, filled this outpost up, so with my sword and shield, I went to work slaying the foul warriors, trying to position myself to allow the other pillagers to kill the banner wielders. I didn't exactly want to worry about starting a raid somewhere. Oh no, did the guy from in there get killed over here? Yeah, look at all this. I didn't kill anyone. After clearing out a whole bunch of them illagers and making it into the main tower, I decided to back out before I got overwhelmed and check out a nearby tiny tower to see if it had any easy to snag loot that could help me finish clearing the icy outpost. After snagging a few of those goodies, we checked out another spot which ended up being an inn with other adventurers inside to hire. Hello. Melon slices and carrots, and I can hire this guy. Too bad I don't have that stuff. I think I need to set up myself a campfire because I'm getting cold. This version of MMC had a different mod for temperature and hydration than the last one that I was still figuring out, but I was able to craft myself a campfire, and sitting near it seemed to warm me up a bit. During the first assault, I had picked up a crossbow and a whole bunch of arrows, so I could now stand on the outskirts and pick off villagers from a range before coming in for the melee. Also, it seems like in this mod pack you need both your hunger bar and your hydration bar to both be full in order to heal, so I had to continuously leave the fight to drink water, eat, and warm up by the fire. It was definitely slow going, but I was determined to finish this first leg on my adventure. And this time, upon fighting our way into the fort again, we made a weird discovery. Whoa, what the f- And what is that? Oh, geez. Oh. Bro, why can they hit me from so far away? Bro, they got a little creeper farm over here. Finally, I got back inside the icy fort, broke and picked up the waystone, and began plucking the best stuff from the chests inside. We actually got some pretty good stuff in here, including some XP bottles and even a few artifacts we can equip to boost our stats, and I personally think these are friggin' awesome. And I did have a couple of stragglers left over to fight, and while I was looting it become nighttime, so I blocked the stairs so that we could safely camp up here and continue sorting through our loot. What the shit are those? After a while, I got bored of waiting for the sun to come up, so I jumped down and ran back to the portal house to sleep through the night. The next morning, I placed that waystone down and named it Portal, so I knew I could return here later if I wanted to get to the Ever-Whatever. And then, since we had the waystone down anyway, I used the house and the barrels to store the things I didn't need at the moment, so I could continue my journeys across the land. Okay, I'm going to need to make a couple tools before I go here. And then I have a waystone right there so that I can return here to grab my stuff that I dropped off. Alright, let's have a backup sword and shovel also. All this stuff is going to be left here. We'll keep some sushi on us. Oh, and before setting out, I also spent a few minutes completing quests in hopes of getting some useful bits and bobs. Hey, there's something. Oh, what is this? Forgotten Wars and Kingdoms. Ooh, fancy. Oh god, I'm getting freezy. Let's set our spawn right there real fast. So here I was in the barracks of some forgotten castle surrounded by torches in the hopes that they will warm me up enough to explore whatever this place had in store for me. And while waiting, I took a look at my inventory and realized I had some potentially very useful scrolls. Alright, let's try one of these and see if it does what I want it to do. Nice, okay, that did work. That's big, that's big. After doing a little bit of warming up, I started by heading above and searching the top of the castle walls and towers, which had a good amount of fighty type gear such as arrows, swords, and armor. Even though I came across a number of spawners, which I broke as I encountered them, I didn't get attacked by any mobs while searching the upper castle, which surprised me as I could hear a lot of undead noises as I made my way through. Eventually, I stepped outside and did see an enemy. One of those terrifying revenants who literally used to scare the crap out of me before I got used to them. Now they're just more creepy variant of skeletons. And one of the towers we searched did have a few enemies inside after all. Oh! And so I broke the spawner, killed the skeletons, and looted what I could, before using my spyglass to take a look at something weird going on nearby, outside the castle walls. Those guys look like they're up to no good. Well, the upper levels of the castle were easy sausage, but now it was time to descend into the depths. And strolling through the door into what appeared to be a kitchen, we started what I didn't know at the time would be a crazy undertaking. It's a straight up undead fortress. From a stairwell leading down to what I assumed was a dungeon, a constant flow of undead were moving up to attack me, and I had to continuously retreat, heal, and return to the kitchen. And they just would not stop coming. Ah! Holy! After fighting legit for a long while, I even attempted to break a block to attack where they couldn't hit me back, and it still seemingly didn't even put a dent in their numbers. What the actual hell is this? Alright, I get the castle. I gotta come back here, man. I can't. I'm unable to with that castle at the moment. Leaving that horrible undead castle behind me, don't worry, I'll come back at some point. I set out looking for a new adventure and potentially a temporary home. At some point, I came across an inn where I was able to spend the night. And I was able to snag another waystone just kinda hanging out in the middle of nowhere. And after days, I finally got myself out of the snowy lands and into some warmer climate. I made it out of the ice. The cold. I've left the cold behind me. As I worked through the plains, all I really came across are some ruins and other underwhelming things not really worth recording. But one thing I did come across was the coast, the edge of these lands. So I cut down a tree, crafted a boat, and set off for new horizons. Also, there was this ocean tower thing, but we can worry about that later. Across the seas in search of adventure. This is what I love about these kinds of mod packs. The amount of things to discover as you travel across the world really makes Minecraft mysterious. Always wondering what you'll find next. While exploring for a place to sleep for the night, we found a nice little house, and this bad boy had another thing we could use. Oh, it's the other one. Ooh. Ah! But this building had a hole in it, so I moved over to the actual house for the night for protection after taking out little Timmy here. Alright. Hello, sir. So after introducing myself to my new roommate, I placed down one of the waystones I had acquired and began the long chore of moving all of my stuff between the two portal houses and storing everything up in our new place here, as well as setting up a few essentials like smokers and this table thing that I had found that I'm not really yet sure how to use. Anyway, I noticed I did in fact have a few emeralds to burn while I was sorting my chests, so I figured it would be a good investment to buy one of those special lighters from this guy to open those blue skies portals. I used the lighter on the frame and was greeted with a bright red portal. I poked my head into the portal and it was a dark and very warm dimension, the Everdawn. I was hyped to explore this dimension, but first I would need to make some preparations, as I hadn't even done any mining yet. So as we have much to do, this would probably be a good time to end the video. I know a lot of people do longer videos, but I've always done my stuff like episodic like this, so let me know in the comments how long you think these should be. Thank you if you watched the video. Please leave a like if you did, and maybe press the sub button if you want to see where we go with this series. And maybe check out another video if I did a game you are into.